2025 is starting off with a bang, and I've got your bourbon market update. Stick around. We got a lot to cover. Welcome back to That Bourbon Dude. My name is Charles, and today we're talking about the 2025 bourbon market update, and we are in January. And let me just tell you guys right now, this thing is starting off crazy. There's so much stuff that I cannot cover in one video. Matter of fact, was just in Colorado. More stuff was breaking as I was out there. Coming back here, reshooting this video for you guys right now. So let's talk about what we're going to cover in this video. First off, part one, we're going to do just the state of the general bourbon market. We're going to talk Brown-Forman. We're going to talk about Buffalo Trace. Then this is the one that's going to get getting people scared. 750 mils. Is it going to happen? And then the next one, there's a couple new laws that are coming in effect that might actually help the bourbon industry. So let's dive into this. You guys listen, part two is going to be a freaking banger. Do not skip part two. It's going to come out in like a week or so. There's a lot to cover in this. So let's dive right into it with part number one, state of the bourbon market. All right. You guys know it just like I know it. Things are getting weird out there. Stuff showing up on shelves. Prices are coming down, but there's still FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? The distilleries are getting nervous. You guys are seeing the headlines. It's making national news. Matter of fact, some of my friends that are deployed overseas messaging me saying, what the heck is going on at home? Well, let me tell you, these are uncharted waters for the whiskey industry. And you might say, you know, they've been in a downturn. Look at like the bourbon dark ages, like the 90s and stuff with the clear spirits kind of taking over. Well, we're heading back there, but there's a big difference between what was going on in the 90s versus now, because we are in an economic downturn, and that's going to affect things in a way that they did not anticipate, because they were riding that super high from the bourbon just freaking craze that was going on during COVID, right? Everybody was bourbon hunting. Everybody was drinking more than they've ever drank before. Depression was higher than it's ever been. You're stuck in the freaking house with nothing to do. And the only thing that was available is grocery shopping and liquor stores and a few miscellaneous other businesses out there. So let's just say this. We're in uncharted territory. Does anybody truly know what's going to happen? No, but there's going to be some great predictions. I'm going to make those predictions in part two. So once you get through this, I'm dropping this video probably in the next day or so. You guys are going to get to see that one as well, okay? So next, let's talk about what the heck's going on with Brown-Forman. So I've been making predictions all year long in 2024. I said that there are going to be layoffs. I said there's going to be stuff that's changing, massive amounts of drops happening. So let's dive into Brown-Forman. All right, just the other day, they had their press release, their conference went out. Brown-Forman announced they're going to be laying off about 640-ish people, and they're going to be closing down the cooperage there in Kentucky. And that's going to be roughly 12% of their total workforce, right? Now, here's my thing. Their official press release, which I have printed off here, there's one spot in this that has got me a little confused why they worded it this way, okay? Now, they're claiming this is just to like be able to afford to do certain things. But traditionally, I have noticed when a company says this specific thing, it means that they've screwed up, okay? Now, it says the decision to streamline Brown-Forman's structure. Anytime you say streamline, that means you need to cut costs because you fucked up. and you did it royally, and there's nothing you can do about it now besides put your head down, figure this shit out, okay? So anytime you hear somebody say, oh, we're streamlining, no, you screwed up, somebody screwed up, who knows who did it, but they did, all right? So they're saying that they're doing this to restructure, to invest in technologies, brands that drive growth. So that means if they're going to be investing in brands, are they going to invest in their current brands? Maybe. Or are they going to acquire new ones? That's a possibility. But there's a third one, and I'm going to get to that, okay? Now, they're saying that this is going to save them roughly 70 to 80 million. Well, if it's going to save them 70, 80 million, is it really going to? I mean, like, think about it. So you're not making your product now as far as barrels, so you're going to have to source those. So your cost of getting this product now has went up because you were controlling it at all ends of the manufacturing process. Now it's in someone else's hands, so you're gonna have to source it from somewhere else. Transportation costs, they're probably going to be going with a cooperage that's not close to their location. This one was in Louisville. Their transportation cost was low. Fuel prices are still high, so barrel price goes up, fuel expense goes up for those transportation trucks going to bring your product to you, so that's going to be a problem. So is it really going to help? We don't know, okay? We don't know. But I said that there's a third aspect to this. I'm going to cover it in just a second. Let's go on to Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace, boys, you guys are scared to death. Remember when I predicted just maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago that we're going to start seeing a bunch of crazy drops? They're going to be releasing products that they've never released before. Well, I'm not going to say never released before. They released them years ago, and then they claimed that that was all that they had. There's none sitting in warehouses. There's none tucked away in a corner. We don't have any more of these. We sent them all out because we do not make artificial scarcity. I think you're full of shit. Let's just say that, because let's talk about what they have been dropping. And I'm going to throw some pictures up here, and not just any pictures. These are from inside of the Buffalo Trace gift shop. So you've probably seen some of them. Let's talk about it. First one, Daniel Weller, setting on the barrel. We've got the 18-year marriage from E.H. Taylor, 100-year anniversary Elmer T. Lee's. That table was massive, okay? The E.H. Taylor straight rye, dropping those left and right. We've got E.H. Taylor 4 grains. We've got the 107 store pick, well, their pick, gift sets dropping. They're dumping, I mean absolutely dumping the Single Oak project. And then while I was in Colorado this week, we have confirmation Stag 24D has dropped, hit the market, right? When did they ever do 4 batches in a single year? They've been releasing E.H. Taylor single barrels in the gift shop. Stags have been dropping in the gift shop. And then they did something different this year. Okay. Toast of the Trace. You guys know what Toast of the Trace is. It's like their annual Christmas event. They bring you there, a little bit of snacks, crappy food, low-end, bottom shelf like pours to let people be introduced into the product. Who the hell doesn't know who Buffalo Trace is at this point? But it's they have you there. Kind of pricey for what you get, okay? But this year, they released Btec there. I was there the previous year in 2023. We got like a Blanton's and an Eagle Rare option. I think it was Blanton's and Weller Special Reserve. That was it. And then you could buy like the stupid little gift set if you wanted to make old fashions, and they had like their Buffalo Trace old fashioned kit. Not this year. This year they released Btec. So you got to draw out of a bucket, magically you pull out something, poof, it's a George T. Stagg, it's a WLW, it's a Handy, it's a Sazerac, it's whatever. But they did it. Did they not send all these out so the consumer could get them? No, they've been holding a ton of them back. A boat load, okay? They've been holding them. Again, they keep telling us that they don't hold stuff back, but then they keep dropping stuff that they said that they didn't have. So, Buffalo Trace, here, look me in the face here. Are you lying to the public? Or did you just magically manifest all this crap? You know, a little bourbon fairy drop down from the heavens and sprinkle some dust on some Weller 107s and they magically turn into WLW. No, you've been lying to us. Stop fucking lying, okay? They're freaking out. This is the kind of shit you do when you're scared. You see your numbers dropping. I mean, look at all the numbers for all the publicly traded distilleries. MGP, crap. Brown-Forman, crap. Beam Suntory, crap. Everybody is getting tanked, and they're getting hit hard. They're getting hit so freaking hard, ladies and gentlemen. You could not even imagine all the people that I run into here in Kentucky that's talking about, man, do you think the bourbon market is like done? Are we going to see legacy distilleries collapsing? Maybe. I mean, there are some rumors, some people taking out some loans from China to stay afloat. We don't know who it is yet, but that is circulating. Now, I told you that there was a third element to what I'm seeing going on with Brown-Forman and other companies, and that's going to be the 750 milliliter bottle transitioning to a 700 ml bottle. Now, I predicted this. I don't know if it was the last video or the previous video, so I did some digging. I wanted to get a little bit more information and make sure that this prediction is grounded in something very solid. So I spoke to two separate glass producers that produce glass for the whiskey industry. And they told me that in April of 2024, they started receiving an unusual amount of orders for glass to be produced in 700 mils. I was like, maybe it's just one. So I called the other one, same story. Same freaking story. And then I'm gonna drop this picture up here somewhere for you guys to confirm exactly what I was predicting, what I was able to find out from them. This is a picture of the new label for Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. Take a look at the bottom of the label, ladies and gentlemen. What do you see? Yeah, that's right. It says 700 milliliter. That's correct. It's happening. They are reducing the size of the bottles. They're going to start dropping everything down to 700. Brown-Forman is just the first of many to start doing this. I'm expecting this to see from everybody at this point. It's going to happen. Now, what all does this mean for us, okay? For the buyers, that means we're going to get smaller bottles. Smaller bottles, but are we going to see the same price? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to jack up the price, reduce the quantity in the bottle, and then still expect us to pay it. Okay? They're hurting for money, so they're going to raise the SRPs across the board for not just Brown-Forman. I think everybody's going to do it. Okay? Now, I'm dabbling a little bit into my prediction, so I'm going to leave that there. But this is going to mean a couple things. One, smaller bottles. Two, price is probably going to go up because their cost of glass is going up because they're producing more bottles. Now that's going to save like 50 mils per bottle, whatever that equates to be able to have an additional bottle. So there will be more bottles. Does that mean they're necessarily going to be more available? Maybe not. Okay, this is the good part. This is the part that might help things out. New laws coming into effect that's going to potentially make the bourbon market slightly more confident that they're going to make a couple dollars, okay? We're talking about House Bill 5 and House Bill 500. All right, let's dive into the first one, House Bill 5, okay? This is, so basically what they're doing here with this one, Kentucky is phasing out the property tax on aging whiskey barrels starting March. In March 2023, Governor Andy Beshear signed House Bill 5. It's intended to eliminate this tax, okay? They're going to start phasing it out starting January 2026, and that's going to be at a rate of 3% annually, and this will continue until the tax is completely phased out, and they're estimating this to be at 2023. Now, the effect that this will have on the local economy, let me address that because that does raise some concerns, but you got to ask yourself this question. Do you help the industry that is still putting money into your economy? Or do you just keep raking them over the coals until they collapse? Then neither one of them exists. You don't have the money for the local school systems, fire departments, stuff like that. And then you also have just lost all these jobs. So it's kind of a balancing effect. You have to give them a little bit of room to breathe to keep functioning, or you're going to lose everything. So that's that. What this is saying here, let's see. This money, this tax that they use, this is from 2022. These are the numbers. It was nearly $40 million in taxes brought in from the barrels. This was allocated for $26 million for local schools and roughly $720,000 per local fire department. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but in rural Kentucky, $700,000 for a fire department is a lot, because most of our fire departments are volunteer based, so they're not getting paid, but they still have upkeep and things like that they have to do on the equipment. Now, this is a long-term plan to help ease the stress that the distilleries are having, and it potentially could allow them to continue to expand and be able to do other things, okay? So that is going to be House Bill number 5, okay? Now, House Bill 500. This is the one that helps everybody in the whiskey industry, because it's going to eliminate one step. It's going to eliminate the need to send your product from, let me just use Buffalo Trace as an instance. So you don't have to take your Buffalo Trace, send it to the distributor, buy the crap back, and then you still have to make profit. So you're not getting screwed there. So it gives them the ability to produce a product and not have to send it to the 3-tier system and then bring it back in eventually, okay? But there are some stipulations to that, so let me get into that. Okay. The law allows distilleries to sell their products directly in the gift shop by bypassing the traditional 3-tier system. This is called House Bill 500, okay? The law allows distillers to sell exclusive bottles directly to consumers at their distillery gift shops and tasting rooms. That's new. So that wasn't always a thing. It used to only just be kind of through the gift shop. Now it looks like they're going to have tasting rooms that they're going to be able to offer these products at. Like, for instance, that real beautiful one that Heaven Hill has built upstairs. Just absolutely marvelous. Their prices are slightly elevated, more than I'd like them to be, but this is going to allow them to be able to will in that price, because they're not going to have to run it through the 3-tier system, okay? All right, key points. What this is going to allow, distillers can now sell products including private barrel selections, so they can do their own private store picks for the distillery. And it will be sold directly to the visitors at the gift shop without going through the wholesaler. So you're going to be able to get more picks. So potentially, let's just say Elijah Craig. I love an Elijah Craig pick. Well, maybe they're going to go start picking some honey barrels and releasing those as a distiller releases, okay? Because that is an exclusive offering, that will qualify, okay? Next, this law enables distilleries to create special limited edition bottles that can only be purchased at their gift shop. So you know how like Heaven Hill releases the Old Fitz line? They could expand special edition and limited release items that will not be distributed outside of the distillery. So it's eliminating a 3-tier system. You're not going to get them in stores. And then the horse's ass of salesmen that works for these distributors are not going to backdoor any of this product into these stores that doesn't need it, that sell at secondary prices. So there'll be a high possibility that you'll be able to get better and more products at the distilleries, okay? Now, the second part of House Bill 500, what this will do is kind of engage tourism slightly more to draw more people into Kentucky to be going to the distilleries. So what that's going to do is channel more people there. Maybe they can expand their tour lines, more special offerings. Like I said, it was going to be able to offer exclusive bottles through their tasting room. So a lot of times when you do a tour, you also do a tasting, and maybe you'll be able to purchase more bottles that way instead of just lining up when the doors open and going to the gift shop. So that is super awesome. Okay, folks, that's what I got for part one. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me through this. I know there was a lot. I want to kind of give you guys a little bit of context what we're going to be doing on part two. I'll start talking some Michter stuff. I know that everyone's waiting for me to spill the beans on Michter, so we got some Michter stuff coming out in part two. We also have some international market stuff, what's going to happen there. Tariffs, how I see that's going to affect everything. There are tariffs for the US, and then the EU is putting some specific tariffs on some stuff, so we're going to talk about that. What's the next move for distilleries? Where are they going to head? Where can they go to expand at this point to be able to make things happen for them? And then this is going to be the most important part. I've got some bangers for this, my predictions for 2025 going forward. So guys, appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, tell your friends about the channel. We got a private Facebook group, That Bourbon Dude private Facebook group. You can get over there and hang out with us. We talk some cool stuff. You guys get some exclusive information. I drop only on the group and not on the channel. We will be expanding into some other platforms very soon, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bourbon Dude out.